So I want to talk about losing a loved one, and this is a huge thing. You know, when you lose someone that's close to you, especially if they haven't lived a full life, this can basically be a really devastating thing. I lost my dad when I was 20. He was diagnosed with colon cancer when I was 18, my first semester at university, and he was given a 6-month death sentence. He ended up living a year and 11 months. He was a fighter, a very strong guy. He had the operation to move half his colon, and then he also did chemotherapy. But, you know, he stopped drinking and fixed a lot of things in his life. He stopped working. He'd worked 70, 80 hours a week his whole life, and basically worked himself into a grave. So, when he passed away, I was devastated. I moved back home, dropped out of school, moved back home to take care of mom, and then I started to work a myriad of different jobs. And for a long time, I was, angry. I was pissed off. I was, confused. And one of the things that I find solace in is the great saint Neem Karoli Baba. He's the teacher of Ram Dass and Krishna Das and Bhagavan Das and Sham Das, all the Das brothers we call them, the Das boys. A lot of great people. Got to meet him in India, and he basically could look at you and understand you and know exactly what happened to you in your life, if you were abused or what you did the night before, or what happened with your girlfriends. Like he was complete love. He was complete bliss and joy, and he wasn't so much of a teacher. Like he would never teach people how to meditate or how to do breathing exercises, although everyone wanted the secret potion. But he just basically shined like the sun, and just being close to him, from what I've been told, he died when I was 9 years old, so I never, of course, got to meet him. But he died in '73. He didn't die. He just left his body when his body was starting to fall apart, and his work was done, and he had all his people in place. He went and told his top student and basically his proteges, I'm going to leave my body at a certain time. You take care of the people in the ashram, and you take care of the Westerners, and I'm going to go. I'm leaving city central jail, he called Earth, and he did. He went to the steps of the town hall and he left his body. But he used to ask people after someone died. He would say, "What do people feel when they lose a loved one? What do they go through?" Because he was able to talk to the spirits. He was able to communicate with people that were dead, so he never had a sense of loss. He knew there was no such thing as death, that the soul is eternal and the soul lives on, and you're always present and you're always with your loved ones, whether they're alive or they're in a rocking chair or they're in the ground. He saw no separation and no dislocation from that love and that bliss and that eternal life. So when you think about it, we are in these bodies for a short time. In India, a lot of people talk about it as a way of, it's like changing clothes. I think about it. I used to play ice hockey, so I think about going on the ice for a shift, skating as hard as you can for 90 seconds, and then bang, you're back on the bench. And that's kind of what a life is. It's like getting out there for that one shift and taking it as far as you can and going, and then you take another rest. So we've been through these lives many times, and when we lose a loved one, we are able to then be maybe even more guided by them on a subtle body level, And there's intuitive people that can communicate with our loved ones from the past. Some might be fakes, but some are really genuine. And when you do lose a loved one, know that they're never far away. They're always with you. They're always in your heart. We might have even had blockages when we were alive and had regrets and had bad thoughts about that person because we might have gotten in a fight one time, or they might have said something stupid, and then we get in our heads with our egos and we push people away. So just know that if you do lose a loved one, a parent or a spouse or a child, that's the hardest thing in life, is to lose your child. I don't know how people deal with that. I've never had a child, so I can only sympathize with that. But I know when my wife lost her child came to her and said, "Don't cry, Mommy, it's okay, I'm fine, I'm great," and spoke to her. So, I know the pain and the suffering of losing a loved one, but try to see it on that esoterical, that eternal level, that your loved ones never leave you. They're always with you. Animals too, your pets, when they pass, they are just pure love and joy. And I was once reading this quote of this kid. They lost an Irish wolfhound, and everyone was really sad. But the boy, the little 6-year-old boy, he wasn't very sad at all. And they said, "Hey, Jimmy, it's really sad that Wolfie died, but you don't seem really distraught." And he said, "Well, for people, they come into the life, and the whole goal for people is really to learn how to love, to figure out this life, and most people don't ever really learn true love, and they have to stay around a long time to figure it out." But he said, "But dogs, they know it coming in. They're pure love and bliss, so they don't have to hang out so long. They get to just leave when they want." And the whole room of adults are just looking at this kid like, wow. And that's some really pure wisdom. So, grieve for a day, grieve for a week, but know that that person that left, no matter what their age was, they don't want to see you sad. They don't want to see you crippled. And they don't want to see you cry. So, yeah, get back out there and live the life that they wanted you to live. Carry them in your heart with you. And know that they're never separate. Never, ever separate from you. Have a good night.